Hey everybody, it's Alara. Welcome back to my channel. Today is January 29th, almost all the way through January. It's Flosstube 44. If you are new here, thank you so much for clicking on and checking out the channel. If you like what you see, please consider hanging out and sticking around. For those of you who continue to come back, I so appreciate you. I hope this continues to be the place to come and hang out. Anyway, I don't know why intros are always so awkward for me, but they really are. Okay, it's a long one today, obviously. I got a lot of stitching in, relatively. It's my board. So, yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with the reflection. There we go. What was that? So, 10 projects total? And no finishes. That's okay. Got all my Monopoly stitching done. Excuse me. Okay. And gosh, what is going on today? Oh, I had a few more mentions. If I have ever like forgotten to mention anybody or thank anybody, please don't take it as a personal slight. My brain is just like that. If I forget to write it down, it's gone. And yeah, I'm sorry. So, and there have been quite a few since launching the Monopoly stitching and stuff. So, Rose Crafty Corner, her and Kylie, so Rolanda? Ro, she goes by Ro, and Kylie, they are a couple of Aussie stitchers that do a joint floss tube. And I really enjoyed watching the episode, especially that that they mentioned me in, and which was very kind, and I so appreciated. But they have some really cool, like, excuse me, ideas for finishing stuff, which I don't really do. I don't have that kind of creativity. I wish I did, but so it was actually a really interesting episode to watch. So if you've not checked them out, please go take a look. More on that later. Megan, I know, has mentioned me in her Whip Parade, which I've not gotten around to watch yet, but I'm excited to. And she and I go quite a ways back as far as like watching each other's floss tubes. And I do want to mention a side quest that she and I collaborated on. It has nothing to do with stitching once I actually start utilizing it. So stay tuned for that. As far as that goes, I think that was everybody that has mentioned me, which I so appreciate. Let's see. I think we will get right into the clips for stitching. I wholeheartedly apologize for the clips getting out of order for Monopoly last week. I could have swore I had them situated correctly. So again, I apologize for any confusion that has caused. I know some people are skipping the like gameplay, which is totally fine. I totally understand, because if you're not playing or not really into like the whole gameplay aspect, it's totally pointless for you to sit and watch unless you're just like buzz background noise. So I will actually insert a timestamp to skip to once we get to the Monopoly section, just so that if you're not interested, you don't have to like sit there trying to figure out where the end is. That one is going to be a relatively long clip because I did discover, as I will mention, because I've already recorded the round. I did that while there was nobody here. Yeah, I discovered there was another die missing. So that's been added. So that's been, it didn't add too much to the chaos, but it did add a little bit of an element to it. But it does make the rounds of Monopoly extend a little bit longer. So I will try to edit that down as much as possible, because I do stop and pause to write things down and things like that. I did manage to record in one clip even when I actually paused, and then I'll try to whittle that down a little bit more, just so that it's not so much empty space as far as time goes, because you guys choosing to spend your time with me, as amazing as it is, I don't want to like make you feel like you're wasting your time. Okay. All right, so without further ado, let's get into the actual stitching that I did, and I will see you in a second.
Okay, first up is this Galaxy by Leisure Arts. Artwork by Zephyr Moon. Just really simple. It's honestly not the best artwork, to be honest. Kind of blends a little bit more than I would want it to and what I saw when I first bought it, but it's fine as a small kit. I actually had bought it as a travel piece when I went to Japan, but it's actually a little bit, the chart's a little kind of hard to read, so, but it's slated to get some stitches in it. I don't remember how many. 320. That's right, kind of a chunk. So I don't know exactly where I'm going to be stitching, so let me try and get it nice and flat for the before and afters. So, all right. So hopefully 320 stitches later in a second. Okay, here we are 376 stitches later. It's honestly less of a chunk than I thought it was going to look like. So this has more stitches as per usual than what I thought there would be. I just did a couple of those blues and highlighted it on the pattern and marked it off as I went, so that's why I didn't get much of a real fill in, but pretty happy with it. I have no idea how many total stitches there are so far. I have a record somewhere, I'm sure, of how many I've put in there, but who knows where those are. Yeah, so on to Celtic Winter is next, I believe. That one's going to get a decent chunk on it. Okay, so here we are with Celtic Winter. This is a lavender and lace artwork designed, whatever, by Marilyn Levitt Emblem, as you can see. Mine will not look like this. I'm doing a color conversion, several, mushed together, kind of. I am doing this on Silent Night by Die Stitch Love. There we go. Lugana, 28 count. I'm doing it 2 over 2. Full cross. I got excited. I have a teeny tiny little start, and then I was like, oh crap, I didn't start recording. It took a lot of prep work. I had my fabric picked out already, obviously. And I had my stuffs, but I hadn't actually truly decided how I was going to stitch this. So I am taking the cape from, I don't remember which one has the cape. Noelle, maybe? I don't remember. There's a really terrible picture, but this is the picture that I have of the cape. Conversion, I think, or maybe it's just the cape, but the colorway for this cape is the one I'm doing. And so I actually ended up cutting out, it was a 4-page pattern, and I ended up cutting the pages down and taping them together because trying to see the cape stitches was getting confusing and I wasn't even trying to stitch it yet. And then I actually have another color conversion, excuse me, here that I will be doing for the dress so that it goes with the cape a little bit better. Ow. And then I have most of the called for conversion stuff, but not all of it. And then I had apparently I never bothered with getting the beads that the conversion called for, but I had enough beads in stash that I picked close ones. There is one that I'm not sure is going to work, but it was a gray bead, and I have a light. Here, I'll show you. Ow! I just hit my finger. Y'all, my finger's okay until I smack it, which Murphy's Law dictates I do at least 3 times an hour. That looks kind of blue on camera, but they are pretty lilac-y color. So I don't know. we'll see. We'll see if that works. There is some colors in the conversion that I'm kind of questioning whether they're going to work on this fabric. Because it is going to end up being kind of a tone on tone, which I don't know how great of an idea that was, but I'm committed. It's happening now. So this one will be interesting to see how it ends up, if it blends in really terribly. I don't know. I may end up having to substitute my own colors. This is going to definitely be one of those see how it goes as it goes kind of things, which, you know, I'm fine with. It's fine. Can't learn unless you experiment a little bit, right? So, okay. 600 stitches is the goal on this one. So yeah, let's see where I get to and if you'll even be able to see it on this fabric. Here, let me get this out of the way so I can get a... There. Can you even see that? So yeah, we'll see where we get to. I almost forgot. I did have a question from a new subscriber, from Kimberly, who was asking about my setup when I'm stitching freehanded, not in hand. And because she noticed that I do Q-snaps, I do hoops, you will also eventually see scroll frames, and she was asking about my setup. So as you can see, I am using a Q-snap. I have a Lowry stand, and everything goes in the regular clamp that I have for it. I know a lot of people prefer the corner clamp for Q-snaps so that they're not clamped onto the actual clamp. What do you call these? Clamps, right? They're all clamps. But I don't find that, you know, I don't overly tighten it, so I'm not putting a ton of pressure on the Q-snaps clamps, and I haven't had any problems with it. The only problems I've ever had with the clamps are my own doing with putting something too thick underneath of them and stretching them too far. I use counting pins to pin my fabric up out of the way if I've got excess from the back. Otherwise, it just lays in my lap, whatever's down here, and I shove it out of the way and work around it. If it gets too much on this side, I will also pin it. And I apologize if this is loud. I realize I'm holding the camera right next to my face and I'm like super loud. Yeah, and then I have this clippy-doo for paper patterns. I can put this on my scroll frames. I can put these on Q-snaps. I cannot put them on hoops, unfortunately, because of like the way it's designed. That was hard. I think that's all I wanted to say for that one. I had mentioned I had taped this all together. I had actually made a working copy of the original pattern as well, and I had to draw the cape over the original pattern, and unfortunately, like, this is a free conversion, but I won't show you everything. So this is the outline of the whatever one this came off of, and they're very, very similar, but they don't 100% match. So we'll see, guys. It's going to be interesting. I'm not sure what I did with myself with this one, but it'll be fun. It'll be fine. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Is that all I wanted to say about the setup? Yes. Yes, it is. Okay, 623 stitches later. As you can see, I got a kitty visiting. Let's see if we can. There she is. Della. Hi. As you can see, I did, well, maybe I reoriented my fabric once I had a little bit of chunk in there and knew where I was going to be stitching a little bit better. But this is the back side of the cape, and this is moving into like the hood of the cape that's going to go over her head. And then this is the edge of the cape as it falls down to get to the dress. So I'm really happy with that progress so far. I'm hoping it looks a little more blendy once it gets more stitches in. So I don't know what percent that is because I don't know how many stitches total are in the thing. But yeah, I'm real happy with that progress. That was a nice chunk to get done. So, and so far, I think it looks okay on that fabric. We shall see. Let's see, and everything, including this one, all but one of the Monopoly pieces were new starts this week, which I didn't realize until yesterday when I really looked at it. I was like, oh, huh. So, all right, off to the next one. Okay, next up is this Sunset kit, very old, from 1992 there, bottom left there you can see. Artwork by Anne Craig. Southwest Still Life, if I didn't say that already. And this is very typical of dimensions. There are blends, there's half stitch, there's full cross. The full cross is actually called for to do 3 strands. So I actually really like the coverage of 3 strands on 14 count, which I think is what that is. Yes, 14 count ivory Ada. This came with unsorted threads. I have, I have since sorted the threads. Yeah, that was not fun. I am very glad that they at least come on an organizer now. Oops, sorry, pattern. So I'm going to be starting in the center here in this jar. And it's slated to get 370 stitches. So we will see how that jar looks after we get there. And I'm just, let go. Just got my center start marked. I did make sure to orient my fabric correctly. I went ahead and put it long ways in the Q-snap so that I could hopefully, go up and down. Oh, my heater came on, sorry. So anyways, we'll get going and I'll see you in a second. Okay, here we are 415 stitches later. Face is actually kind of shaping up a little bit. I lied. I turned to a hoop. I didn't like how the fabric was sitting in the Q-snap. So, and I found that I can put my little clippy thingy on and it's pretty secure. So I was happy with that. And again, I just use this regular side clamp for pretty much everything. And yeah, it holds it just fine. Is there anything else I want to say about this? Not really, I don't think. No? Okay, next up is going to be ink circles, the birds and the bees. And I made a trip today. I went to Mystic Fabrics grand opening over in Indiana. It was about an hour and 45 minutes, hour and 50-minute drive for me. It was super fun. I met stitchy people for lunch before we went over to check out the shop. And that was very nice to meet some more stitch friends in person. And spent a lot of money that, not that I didn't have, but that I will have to pay myself back. So I will show that in the next to last section. I took a little video of the shop while we were there, which I will also put at the very end for anybody who's interested. Misty has some amazing fabrics. Oh man, I wanted like all of them. And she was fun to meet. And yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit more towards the end. Okay, up next is this Birds and the Bees by Ink Circles. I am doing this on a purple brown fabric, mostly purple, by Die Stitch Love. It's a 28 count linen. I'm going to be doing this 2/2 full cross, and I'm going to be using a variety of these Brennan needle threads, and I'm probably going to be working with these two this time. Looks like it's 280 stitches that it's slated for. So I think, let me put this back here for a second. I'm going to be starting in like this planty, thing where the birds are standing. And then, so I think I'll work on that particular shape and then maybe get into one of these birds. We'll see how far we get. Okay, so before I show you what I did, I got 293 stitches in, and it called for 280 for Monopoly. I wanted to show you kind of what we're going to be looking at. So I got the, hang on. Is that better? No, that's not what I wanted. Hold on. Okay. I got this done, and I got the beehive and the bees and the very start of this bird. I did not get his little foot over here done, and I'm hoping that once these are done, it'll actually look like they are holding up the beehive. So here is what I got done. And I don't know if it's going to work, but we're going with it. So for the bees, I don't know if you can see, kind of see it. I used this PB30 black and gold for the bees. I don't know if it translates very well even in person, but that's what I did. And then for the, I don't know what is on top of the beehive, but they look kind of like flowers to me. So I use this. Summer in Newfoundland is my favorite day of the year. Speckling for the flowers. And then I found, this wasn't part of the original, what I showed you. I found this Roxy Floss Annie for the beehive. And then for the filigree, I just used this like gray Couplin. It's really, really subtly variegated. And then for the birds, I'm using this January. So hopefully you'll be able to see some of the speckling eventually while I'm stitching. So I don't know. I think it's going to be hard to see the overall effect that I'm going for until more gets stitched in. But I like how it turned. I like it so far. I think this was a little bit deeper of a gold than I was looking for, but that was what I had that worked. I wanted to keep it true to Fancy Floss. So yeah. Oh, I managed to scan the pattern in for a working copy and uploaded it to PK, Pattern Keeper. So that's been nice. It's a little bit wonky, but it did pretty good stitching the pages together. Even though like the 4 pages didn't have even, like not all the grids were the same numbers, width and height. Height-wise, I think they were all the same, but width-wise they varied. And it still did pretty good matching them up and yeah, allowing me to use that. So, okay. Tomorrow will be Underwater Kingdom. I'm looking forward to that one too. Even though it's only going to be 150. I don't know if I'm going to go. I don't know. It seems like even though I keep telling myself I want to do more, I go ahead and stop pretty much after the thread is done. For whatever Monopoly's called. So I'm really loving the rotation though, as far as like constant new, not necessarily new starts, but just constantly something different. It's keeping my attention a lot better. So okay, see you tomorrow. Next is the Underwater Kingdom right there. This is a kit by Riolis. It is 211 by 165. I definitely spent more time prepping this than I probably will stitching it today. Because I scanned it very carefully into a PDF for my working copy. And I was able to get it into Pattern Keeper, although it is very weird. It's very squashed because Pattern Keeper does not like the landscape pages that I made. We're going to try it though. And if you've never done a Riolis kit, I want to show a little bit. This one has a blend of, these are anchor threads. And then, so 1 through 7, it looks like, is anchor. and then it starts into their wool acrylics. So these are like super soft. They're going to be a little fuzzy. I don't know if you can see that on camera. That's from the wool. These are used just the one strand as it comes off the card. And then, of course, I'll have to split the anchor threads. And their keys are a little weird. I photocopied the key so I didn't have to keep because the pattern comes on one page. So, here, let me flip this over. Good luck getting the pattern off of that horrible copy. So their keys are basically the symbol here, and then this shows how many strands you're going to be using. And like this will be a back stitch. So we've got 2 strands half cross, 3 strands full cross, 2 strands full cross. And then this one over here is 1 strand full cross. And then these are the numbers. Sorry. These are the numbers on the card to use. And then, of course, these are blends. So I'll probably have to actually refer to the key because this is a 3-strand and I don't know which one gets 2 and which one gets 1. So I'll have to look at that. And then, oh, no, just kidding. Just kidding. That's the next one. And then this one is how many threads it gets. So it kind of confirms that this is 3 strands, 1 color, 3 strands. So really, the only reason they need this last line is to show you an odd number stranded blend. So, I don't know if there's really any other thing. This is a 14 count fabric. Now, if you have this pattern and you also want to grid, be mindful that this is not the correct grid for the paper part. Pattern Keeper translates it over to starting from 0 at the upper left-hand corner. But the paper pattern is a different setup on the grid. So, but yeah, 150 is what it's slated for. I'll probably stop after my thread is used after 150. So we'll see what that looks like. Wah, wah, I got 158. So, nope, just kidding. 159 out of 35,805. I'm at 0.44%. Yeah, the coverage is gorgeous. And this is all the acrylic wool so far. It's so soft. So I really like the coverage, and yeah. It doesn't seem to be focusing very well, but hopefully you can see that okay. So yeah, that's about all I have to say about that. I'm hoping it gets landed on again soon, because I definitely want to work a little bit more with that. And so far the PDF in Pattern Keeper is working really well. There was one of the colors, because the chart is in color, that did not translate well. Like, here, let me show you this. It's kind of crazy. Like that's supposed to be like a dark brown, and it did not like it for whatever reason. So anywho, all right. I have to get some stuff ready to mail for some stitchy friends. But what is next? Oh, the country cottage, I think. Either country cottage or country cabin. I can't remember. We'll see what's next. Okay, next up and last for Monopoly stitching is this kit from China. I got it off eBay like 100,000 years ago. It is 300 by 220, so it is big. It is on 14 count fabric, so it's a pretty decent size physically. It does have 70 colors, which I was pretty impressed with when I got the kit, and 1 blend, multiple colors of backstitch, some half cross, full cross, and it actually came on these like pretty nice plastic thingies. I'll probably save these once I'm done, as long as they don't, tear up and stuff real bad. I did try to get this into Pattern Keeper, but the scans didn't, they were just skewed enough that it did not translate well. Markup wasn't much more help, even though you're supposed to be able to adjust the grids based on a skew. It still did not want to go in there very well. So I started to grid it, and then I realized that it's not full coverage, like completely, so I don't want those ghost images of the lines to show up after I'm done. So I just got that first corner started. What else? Anything else about this? 500 stitches is the goal. So wish me luck on paper, this particular paper, because it is a color copy. And I have to preserve it well enough to get the back stitch done after I'm done. So I don't know, maybe I can iron the paper when I'm done. Get the friction off of it if I use friction pens to cross everything off. I don't know, we'll see. So see you in 500 stitches. Okay, 582 half stitches later. Yeah, they're just getting counted for whole stitches because I'm not doing Facebook games at the moment. So, oops, sorry, finger. This was actually a lot more enjoyable to work on than I thought it was going to be. It also went pretty quick because, you know, yay, half stitches. I'm working vertically up and down just because of the way the lines went and how the sky is coming in. I've got about, 16 more rows, and that'll be the edge of the page. So I'll work, there are 8 pages total to this pattern, and I'll just work by page since it's paper. So, but yeah, pretty happy with how that was. That's the last of Monopoly stitching, so I'll probably pick whatever temp it is right now to work on. And then I'm going to try and get some work done. We'll see how my finger goes. Having it down under, like, lower than my heart still is pretty painful, so I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But, all right. I will be back with whatever is next. Okay, so it is 28 degrees outside right now, Fahrenheit, and I decided to pull the high for today for as far as, like, because I have both highs and lows. But the right now stitching is, I'll just grab highs for now. So this is Jeremy, actually Enjoying the Snow by Stefan Coidel, but also known as Jeremy. Contemporary Cross has charted the artwork. He is 400 by 486 with all of 39 colors, all of them like blues, obviously. And this is where we're starting on him. I have 796 stitched so far out of 194,400 for 0.41%. So I will get a minimum of 200 into him and go from there. See you in a minute. Forgot to say, I am stitching this on 28 count Monaco, 1/1 full cross, and I don't have anything to work in, obviously, so I will be starting from, where am I starting from? Those holes right there. And then we'll see what kind of chaos that happens, because there's really no rhyme or reason. There's a lot of confetti in this, so we'll see where we get to. Okay, so I did 427 stitches on Jeremy here. That puts me at 1,223 stitches and a 0.63%. So not even at 1% yet, but that's okay. I did quite a bit of fill in here. Hopefully you can see that. So I decided to stop, and I will pull. Next is, so the actual low temperature is going to be 19, 29. I can't remember. Anyway, the low is going to be Malagos, which I'm excited about because I'm going to show you my messy table. But I want to use those threads up and get that thing put away. So, all right, we will see you later. I don't know if I'm going to stitch it tonight. What is this, Sunday night into Monday morning? I don't know if I'm going to stitch any more tonight, but that'll be first on the docket tomorrow. Okay, so here is what we are working on that I was mentioning was Malagos. This was a limited edition from Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Pia Wanachiawang. Chaiwang? I don't really know how to say her name. 500 by 503. Some colors. And I am starting from here, which is 1,742 stitches out of 251,500 for 0.69%. I am stitching this on like a 32 count even weave, 1/1 full cross, and I've just been filling in diagonally, but because of the way the rain runs, I mean, it streaks. That's what it does. I will probably head upstairs for the night rather than starting on this. So, yeah, I'll be fresh and stitching tomorrow and looking to get at least 200 stitches in this. So, see you tomorrow. Okay, 349 stitches in. I finished off a color that was in that organizer, and I am now at 2,091 stitches at 0.83%. So, obviously this color keeps going down this way. Probably going to still end up going back up to the corner next time he comes out to sort of fill in that diagonal that is here. So I think that's all I have to say about that one. Next up, I pulled the high for today, which is 35, 35, 35, and then tonight's low is 25, so both of the fives will get pulled. But my temperature potion Sal is temperature potion Sal is next. Okay, so this is the temperature potion Sal from sometime from Teeny Weeny X Stitch on Etsy. This is the grayscale sort of mock-up or whatever that they have excuse me, from the PDF. As you can see, some of it's colorized simply because they, put seasonal stuff in there, which I thought was really cool. Yeah, that's the only thing I want to say about that. And then I'm stitching this on a 14 count opalescent Aida. Oops, sorry. 2/2, 2/1. Just kidding, 2/1 full cross. This is January up until the 17th, so I'll be working the rest of January. I did finally sit down and actually write down all the temperatures, and I'm actually going to put it with the fabric because I did that partway through the year once and I can't find that paper, so that was kind of annoying. I'm also slightly annoyed that I'm not going to get all of my temperature extremes in this year, which was 2023. I'm not going to get like the bottom 3 cold temps and the very top high temp. So I may have to do this year's again because this is, I don't know. I feel like I wanted to use my whole spectrum. Like this year, my cold doesn't go cold enough. But anyway, it's fine. This was a very kind of warm overall year, so that'll be interesting to see how that plays out once it gets done. So I'm looking to put about 200 stitches in, and we'll see what it looks like then. Okay, we did 316 stitches plus backstitch. I also did some frogging because this and all of these quirks were in the wrong spot. They were one too low, so I had to rip those out and put them back in. And let's see. So yeah, 316 for a total of 5,177 now out of 27,786 crosses for 18.63%. If this one looks a little weird, it's because it is. I messed up the back stitch here where it's kind of rounded on this side. And I did it on this one too. I ripped this one out, and then when I did it again on here, I was like, screw it. I'll just put it back in. If it bothers me later, I'll pull it out and redo it, but it's not bothering me at the moment, so meh. And I went ahead and started this thread for the back stitching over here. And I did find one bottle over here that still needs back stitched, so that'll have to happen once I get back over to probably March, to be honest. I'll go back up and do that. But for now, we're just going to finish off January when this comes out again. Or not finish it off, but keep working on it anyways. Excuse me. So, yeah, I went ahead and all my numbers for the rest of the year. Kind of mad because I don't get to use the very highest temperature or like the lowest 3 temperatures, because did I talk about this already? Because I'm still annoyed about it. I think I did. That's okay. So, all right. Well, it's late. I'm gonna go to bed. Got one more day of stitching before recording day. I might have a kid home sick tomorrow. He's kind of running a low temp fever, but didn't have any other symptoms, so I don't really know what to do with him. I don't know. We'll see how he feels in the morning. So, and I don't want to get other kids sick. So if he's running a fever, he stays home. Oh, well. All right. Well, I'm not sure what the temperatures are next. So I'm not sure what we'll be working on next. But I'll see you in a second. Okay. Next up is Gypsy Firefly, artwork by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the max color version. 450 by 630, 200 and some odd colors. Got most of this upper corner done. Starting to work down this trunk into the caravan. I am stitching this on 18 count Aida, 2/1 full cross, and I think I talked about like moving it back up to the top the last time I worked on this. Let me zoom out a little bit. But I think I am going to continue working in the hoop and just kind of fill in the space. That's probably going to be the case because every temperature stitch that I've taken out so far has just been manhandled into whatever hoop or Q-snap or whatnot. And it'll probably stay there until it needs moved. Yeah, I was right. Little man is homesick today with a fever. Not feeling the greatest. I'm sure you saw my little stripy pants. I'm still in PJs in the afternoon because I was up like all night. Between the husband snoring and the sick kid. So it's been fun. And I'm sure here in a week or so, I will have whatever he has, and that's going to be great fun again. Made it a month. We'll see. Hopefully, he's pretty good about like sanitizing his hands or washing his hands when he's had to blow his nose or cough or whatnot. So one can hope. I'm aiming for at least 200 stitches on this. We'll see what I feel like once I hit that. And we'll go from there. I totally forgot to tell you stats before I started. So it's I'm at 14,297 stitches out of 283,500, and I'm at 5.04% on this piece. And I was looking, it looks like I'm going to be, I have 2 stitches in already. I'm going to be filling in here and kind of up in here, it looks like, from where I picked to start and where it's going to go. So yeah, keep an eye out on that space. Well, it's been a very long day. My kiddo spiked 104.4 fever, so that was rough. Called the doctor on call because it was evening by that point, and had to monitor and make sure the Tylenol and everything was actually working, which it did. It brought him down, but that was kind of a harrowing afternoon, late afternoon, evening that we spent. So I got 230 stitches in on this once everything got kind of settled in and I got him to sleep. So I am finally, I think, starting to get tired enough to go to sleep. I've been scrolling a lot on Reels. Just because I wasn't able to really concentrate on stitching much. So tomorrow's recording day. Hopefully I actually get to record, so we shall see. Hopefully little man is feeling a little better tomorrow. So I'm now at 14,527 stitches for 5.12%. And I don't know if you could really tell, but I basically filled in a lot of the holes that were in this area. There's still some ninja stitches for filling in next time. Yeah, we'll see how that goes next time this gets pulled out.
Okay, so there you have the stitching for the week. The child is fine. He is bounced back today. He's still running a low-grade fever. It is the flu. I figure I have between 1 and 3 days before I get it. I am starting to sort of feel that feeling that I get when I get like the flu or COVID. I'm hoping it's all in my head. If you don't see me next Wednesday, I'm getting over the flu. And I will record as soon as I can, as soon as I feel up for it. This is still a hindrance a bit in work. Still having it below my heart is not as bad. It is looking really good. I'm able to look at it now. But there's still a long way to go as far as the healing process goes. I'm getting a little bit stir crazy because I love stitching, don't get me wrong, but stitching all day, every day does get old after a little while. And I remember the feeling well from last year when I had pneumonia, and the only thing I could do was sit here and stitch or lay in bed being sick. So I'm really hoping that I did enough mitigation to not get it, but I'm not holding my breath for it. Okay, hopefully I don't screw these clips up. I had to break up my end of the video for this because I forgot to break it off to actually do the Monopoly round that I recorded. This next piece is going to be me drawing for Monopoly, playing Monopoly, and then I will pull all the pieces and show you what we're going to be doing.
Welcome to round 5. So we've been familiar so far with these 3 dice that I know I keep saying them wrong. So we have 2 regular dice, 1 movement die, or 1 bonus die, and I printed off. These are the rules for the special spaces and how to move. Now, these are 2 separate sets of rules, one from regular Insane Monopoly and the other from the Pyramid Scheme Monopoly, which is the one that I did. I do want to reiterate, too, that I did not design these boards. I merely drew the artwork from the concept that was already there. I am not this brilliant. And I don't remember if I mentioned it in my last video, but a subscriber was kind enough to point out that I was missing a die, because I don't know if she plays like online this version. But yeah, I went back and reviewed the rules, made sure, because these are from 2 different rule books, y'all. And yes, I was totally missing this one. So this is the Pyramid Scheme die, which throws in another element of, you all don't feel like obligated to understand everything that's going on in these games. I'm still correcting errors that I'm making. So, and I know that adds an element of confusion, which I do apologize for. I have corrected where everybody is supposed to be as far as what I found error-wise last time. If you are playing along and you're just, you're following like 1 or 2 tokens or whatnot, just worry about the final stitch count. If I have made a corrected stitch count in the description box after I've posted the video, don't stress about it. That's more for my records than to say you have to stitch that. So don't hold yourself to high standards when I'm still figuring what the hell I'm doing out. Okay, so that being said, 4 of these bad boys. We are going to start with Earth, who is here. Yes, right in front of me. Yes. English is hard. I will have to move boards one to the other this time because we are on the second board. And of course, if anybody lands in jail, that will have to be moved around. So I will try my best to pause properly so that I'm not switching clips out and confusing everyone even more. Okay, are we ready? Let's get started. Okay, so we have a bonus move. We have 5, and then we have, on this scheme, a little dice that I drew poorly and not in perspective. So I do believe that is kind of like a bonus move. Let me double check. Yes, an additional bonus move using 1 die. So I can do either the bonus move here or this move first, but those are resolved separately. So basically it's like a 3-play. This is where it's going to get really interesting, guys, because this is not just like add them all up and move that once. No, it's you're going to land here, and then you're going to move, and you're going to land here. So I also have had sleep today, so hopefully my brain will actually keep track of what in the world is going on. And I will remember to write everything down. All right, first things first, we're going to move 6. I didn't see that middle pip. All right, and this is an even roll, so we're going to go up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Embarcadero, abracadabro, for 210. And I am actually going to be pulling properties as I go, because otherwise I will not. I was having a hard time figuring out who had what when. So there's the property. And there. Okay. Bonus move gets I think we even determined that, yes, all 3 of these get rolled again. Now, I did not see where in the insane version that all of them get rolled all together again. Yeah. Let me figure that out real quick. Okay, this could get interesting. I did went ahead and put my pip here to denote that I own that property, or that Earth owns that property. Oops. Okay, this is going to, sorry, hang on. Okay. All right, and then a bus icon. So we have 7 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm going to turn this so we can see what the heck we're looking at. Okay, this is bonus. Stitch 300 when you land here, which is where I am right now. And my pen is not wanting to work. That's awesome. Yeah, adding these dice and rolling like I should, this could get very, very interesting. I will stretch Monopoly over however many weeks it takes to finish it. So don't stress about like being stuck forever on being stuck with, 10,000 stitches in a week. That's not happening. Okay, bus icon is moving to the nearest chance community chest, shenanigans, or shady business, or drawing a travel voucher. I actually have quite a few travel vouchers for this guy, so we are going to go to, and this is so it's an odd roll. I'm assuming I'm just going to keep going around this way. If it was an even, I would go down to the next row. So next one is shenanigans. And when it comes to discarding, I'm just going to add a different colored card to the bottom of the deck when it needs to be discarded. I have already shuffled everything finally. Property tax is due. Advance directly to property tax, which I need to find. There's income. Hold, please. Okay, so property tax is actually on our second board. So we're going to grab him. Move this out of the way. And here we go. So property tax is here. And it's stitch 15 per owned property. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 times 5. 35, right? Pretty sure. And that's on property tax. Depending on how many stitches end up going total, you can keep this at 35 if you like. I may add a 0 to that. We'll see. I don't know yet. It just depends, right? Okay. And then I have one more move because of, oh, it's way over there. Sorry if I shake you. Because of this guy. Now, according to the rules, it is just one, I believe. Using one normal die. Okay. All right. One normal die. Ta-da. 3. 1, 2, 3. Another shenanigans. Okay. Investment opportunity. Advance to investment. You may invest up to 200 stitches more than you normally would be able to. I don't know what I would normally be able to, so we're going to invest 200 stitches. Oops. Now, of course, I have to find the investment. I know it's on this one. I'm pretty sure it's on investment. This one. Over here. Okay, let's see what this says. Wrong guy, wrong guy. How many people screamed at me? This one. Oops. See, it does help when I have sleep. My brain actually says, no, wrong one. Okay. Collect triple your investment. I don't have one yet. I believe that is something that is in a spreadsheet, which I will probably have to actually make note of before I start recording again. Which is fine. Mental note. Okay, so we are going to put 200 on the investment for Earth. Right? Oh, wait. Up to 200 stitches more. As you pass, collect double your investment, and you may invest up to $300. Well, stitches. So this could be 500. So we're going to put 3 to 5. And I will leave that up to you what you want to stitch on that. If you want to go 300, 400, or 500 if you are playing Earth, because we are up to quite a lot for Earth. And yeah, that might be, I might shuffle that to be one of the last ones to do to see how much that will actually get. Okay. Are you done? Are you done? Yes, we are done with that one. Okay. Air is next. Yes, that was one token, guys. One token. See? Air is there. All right, we got all 4. All right, now I have doubles, but this is the bonus move die, so it does not actually count as a double. So we're just going to move that many spaces, and then we have a bonus move from that one. So we'll roll one more die after that. So we have, what is that, 12? And that's an even roll, so we're going to go down into this next row. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, still even, 10, 11, 12. Luxury tax gets 100 stitches. Now, if I have a luxury tax space in my spreadsheet, that piece will get worked on. If I did not assign a piece to luxury tax, that will go towards the free parking piece. I don't know which one I did. I'm pretty sure I assigned a piece to it, because pretty much any space that I had, it got a thing. All right, so let's do the 1 die extra move. And that is 2. Ooh, 1, 2, boardwalk. Excellent. Ta-da. Okay, and that is it for air. Got off easy on that one. Fire is next. Here we go. Ooh, all right. Get to draw a pyramid card, I believe. Okay, so the pyramid scheme is not like a card that you draw. It is a tally of stitches that will be added or subtracted to in the spreadsheet. So this one, I have to figure out how much gets added to it. Add the highest face value multiplied by 5 to your pyramid scheme. Highest value is 4. Times 5 is 20. Y'all, I'll be honest, I'm not sure if I have anything assigned to a pyramid scheme. It's been a while since I've, studied even what my brain was saying we needed to do when I added stuff. So, again, 20 stitches is nothing. So I will be adding a 0 to that. Unless everything else becomes so crazy with, buying properties or whatnot, that becomes okay, 20, that sounds good. All right. That takes care of that, yes? 5 to your pyramid scheme, 4 times 5. Yes, okay. And that is it when it comes to that. And since we just rolled straight numbers, he's just going to move and then be done. So 9, right? Why is adding hard? Yes, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Straight over because it's odd. 9. Herrenkracht. This place. All right, and that's going to be purchased for 460. And that concludes Fire's move. Okay. Water is up. Ooh, that's a real double, guys. Okay. So we will, oops, that's an investment up. I have no if I have no investment, I do nothing. I don't need to worry about this because he has no investment. 14, and then we'll roll for doubles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. 12, 13, 14. Shady business. Okay. Slots. Roll 3 dice and count how many even numbers you rolled. One more dice. This is a particular dice for when you have to roll 3. Okay. Yes, good. 2. All right, so 9. Okay, so if all of them are odd, nope. All of them are even, nope. 1 even, 2 even. Okay, I have 2 even numbers, so I will stitch 200 on whatever main focus I decide on. Now, this is for doubles that I rolled. I need my movement die again. If anybody actually has played this, I'll go through, like, I'll go through the rules again. I didn't see anything about rolling this one again, so I'm not going to. I'm just gonna try not to add too much confusion to the already massive confusions that we have. Oh crap! Doubles again, plus a bonus move, or a bus token. So, water, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And we passed bonus, which is, if you pass bonus, it's 250. So, and then we landed on Fenway Park for 380. There we go, Fenway Park. Okay, now this one has a Public Works icon, but I have not passed anything to actually draw Public Works yet. Those will come in play later. All right, travel voucher. I'm going to draw a travel voucher for that one because it does not have very many. So here's my travel vouchers. Most of these are like use later kind of things, so move forward to any space on this side of the board. I will start utilizing these more when it's time to start making monopolies and majorities and things like that. Okay. All right. Am I going to jail? Is jail going to come out? What's going to happen? Jail is not coming out. Okay. So we've got another bus token and 9. All right, odd roll is straight through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Jersey Central for 200. We're going to go ahead and go to community chest for for that guy. Because why not? Okay. Doctor's fee, stitch 100 on the main focus. Okay, next up we have magic here. 4. All right, we have a single bonus, not regular double, so we've got 6, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Short line. And that was a, what was that? 3, 6, 7, 8. That was an even. So we will go up to the next one. Next roll. Yes, 1 bonus or 1 regular die roll. Which is 5. Right? Ooh, hang on. Okay, it was whatever it landed on is what determines even or odd. So yes, I rolled even. Going to go up to the next one. Now, I did find out when I was looking at that I can build a train depot on any owned railroad for 100 stitches. So that's not going to happen just yet, especially with, it looks like how many stitches are happening this round. But that's something I need to keep in mind. Okay, and 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, it's time to pay some rent. Rent is $17, so it's going to be 170 stitches. Because we ain't doing no that 20 is going to end up turning into 200. I don't do little stitches. You can if you want. I don't do little stitches. All right. That concludes Magic's turn. Now for some chaos. Just here. Okay. Highest is 6. Let me double check on this. Times 5. 30. Pyramid scheme, add 30 to pyramid. Okay. And then remove 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We passed bonus, so that one, bonus is getting some action this time. Bonus is getting another 250. And we landed on Newbury Street. Here. Which is 380. And all right, that wasn't very chaotic, was it? That's okay. I think the whole round was a little crazier than normal. Okay. Okay, that concludes round 5 of Monopoly. Feel free to comment if I did screw anything up. I more eyes on this craziness, the better. But I think this time we may have gotten everything. Right? Right. Good. Okay. All right, let me pull these guys and add up numbers, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so as far as stitching goes, as normal, I will put the stitch counts for each of the tokens in the description box below so that if you are playing along to a token, you can see the stitches. Now, I am going to do a little bit differently because of those, the pyramid scheme and the investment stitches being kind of loosely interpreted version of, I'm not just going to stitch 20 stitches. That's really pointless to show you and boring for me. So what I did do is for those stitches, I gave it a range between the minimum of the 20 stitches or whatever to a maximum of like 200, 30, 300, that kind of thing. And I will stitch, I could still stitch over that. But I will stitch whatever between there. And for the investment stitches, that whatever I actually stitch is what I will note in my spreadsheet as far as future, because that the investment is sort of a rolling tally. Same with the pyramid scheme. It's a rolling tally until it gets reset to 0. So what I did was put that range of, so for example, Earth has a minimum of 545 stitches, all the way up to a possibility of 860. So feel free to, if you're just wanting to try and get the minimum number of stitches, that's perfectly fine. If you want to go gung-ho and see if you can get the maximum of 860, go for it. Somewhere in between, pat yourself on the back, you've done it. So for this week's stitches, it is a total of a possibility of English is very hard today. 3,305 stitches all the way up to 4,070 stitches. If I do end up with the flu, I am not going to get that many stitches. I will probably be in bed for a couple of days with a fever, as I do when I get the flu. So it is very possible that we will have over 2 weeks of stitching for Monopoly. I will put an announcement in the community tab if I do come down with the flu and my stitching really takes a nosedive. Just so that you guys kind of know if you have some breathing room as far as that goes. So last week, most of my stitching, with the exception obviously of the temperature stitching, were new starts. This week, there is a total of 13 projects that got landed on. And 5 of them are new starts, 8 of them are whips. So, okay. I think that's what I wanted to say about that before we get into the actual projects that I pulled. So let's get into it. Okay. These are, ow, I smacked it. Oh, and I do also have a mystery round robin. I cannot show what the projects that I'm getting or that I sent out because it's a mystery for all of us involved until we actually get the project that we're due to work on. So we're sending those out about once a month to each other. I have mine. I have mine sent out. It is on its way. I am going to record clips and show that at the end of the round robin, just for fun, because I know quite a few of those ladies actually are also Flosstubers. Dawn from Stitching Enchanted Stitching. Sorry, Dawn, if I got that wrong. Debbie from Alligator Stitcher is in there. Those are the 2 off the top of my head. I'm sure I feel like there's others. Which, I'm sorry, ladies, if I've flubbed that up. Anyway, so I need to try to stitch on that so that I don't procrastinate, and because it takes me forever to ship stuff anyways. So that is also some stitching I need to personally squeeze in this week. Okay. So, and I'm not going to bother saying what property or whatever, because some of these are combined stitching from different tokens. I will just tell you what the total amount that I'm supposed to get done on each project is. Okay. First up is Mountain Santa. This is from 100 Cross Stitch Ornaments. This is a new start. Will be a new start. And that's him. He's really tiny. I'm gonna guess maybe 600 stitches. And he is gonna get anywhere between 35 and 350 in him. So I don't know what order I'm going to work on these either, because the range stitching is probably going to get towards the end of the week. Just if I need to cut those short and do a real low count, then I can. I don't know what fabric I'm going to use for him yet. I got to dig through my little fabric scrap stash and see what we got there. Okay, African Daisy is a piece from Total Cross Stitch, and this is a whip. It is 500 by 333 with 89 colors. This is what it's going to look like when it's complete. I have a start here somewhere. I have not started on the confetti that is the middle of that flower. I am stitching this. I'm not going to say what I'm stitching. I'm not going to give. That's probably the detail you are going to get, because I'll tell you when I film more details. Yes. go. So not a huge amount of progress in there. How much do I have in there so far? 1,612. That's our starting point. That's the fabric tag. Don't lose that. $800 minimum on that one. We will see if that actually gets all of them. This is, I have a ton of Stitchrovia pieces, or Emma Congdon. I forgot the book. Hold please. Okay, so the piece that is assigned to whatever comes from her book Cross Stitch for the Soul. That's how many that are that are slated to be done out of this book. She doesn't really name her pieces, so I just call this one A Good Companion. And it says, a good companion shortens the longest road. Oh, son of a biscuit eater. I forgot one of those has been started and I have the working copy in there. So, there's that. It's going to go on this fabric. Okay. All right. Next up is Cottage Garden Samplings, the Swans. This is winter, so I'm going to have to do some counting to get next to the fox, I believe. Yes, because it's reindeer, fox, and then the swans. I'm excited for this one. This one's just so gorgeous. So pretty. And these are slated to get 2 different stitching sessions on them because this is the investment piece, and I didn't really think ahead to have like an investment piece for each token, which is fine. But it needs to get between 20 and 200 for the first stitching session and 30 and 300 for the last stitching session. And that will determine how many stitches go on which token in my spreadsheet. You don't have to worry about that. I need to worry about that for tracking purposes. And it goes on one of these fabrics, Gray Magic, I think, is what that goes on. Pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, because I think that's the start of the fox. So that will go, I have to figure out which way is up, but that will go over here. Or, you know, whichever ends up being on the right side. All right. I am really excited for this next start. This is a piece that I picked up in Japan. And the full translation of this is long. It's very long. I'll put it here on the screen. Fuji from Goten Maya, and then I don't know, gets lost. I don't know if there's a series of these. That would be awesome if there were. But it's going to be interesting because it's on 9-count fabric. So it's going to be a floss eater, but this is from, the threads are from Olympus. So I will probably, if I can't figure out thread counts and stuff, I'll have to use a image translator for that one. All right, and that one is slated to get 380 as a start, and that's going to look huge because of how big the squares are too, so that'll be fun. Next up is Misty Castle on the Lake, on a lake. This is from Winkin, Blinkin, and Odd, who is no longer in business, unfortunately. somewhere. Over there she is. Gonna have to do a mock-up. And it's lots and lots of light colors. I think it's a beautiful piece. It is an AI artwork. There are quite a few artifacts in the castle, but I actually kind of like it. For this particular piece, to me, it's endearing. And I do have a start on it of 3,507 stitches. And it's supposed to get 460. Oh, I can't get the bag open. And it's just all here in the upper left-hand corner. Not much to look at yet. I'm just probably going to go back in and start filling in holes. So we will see how that looks. Probably not much different. And another new start, which is Flower Galaxy 1. This is a piece by 2x2 Stitch Art, I believe. Yes, this is 2x2 Stitch Art. There we go. I feel like I've seen someone else stitching it, and I cannot remember who that is to save my life. I'm going to be putting it on this beautiful red fabric from Fiber on a Whim. That is, I don't know, it's actually kind of dark in here, so I'm having a hard time even seeing what, feels like that might be a little orangier than it should be. It's a really pretty red fabric. I thought that would go well as the background to those blue flowers. And that is supposed to get just 200, which is fine. Alright, another whip is from Pain Free Crafts. This is a piece by Kajena Art. Just called White Horse. Maybe. I was struggling with that light. Sorry. There we go. And I am omitting the background. Most of the background, like the white part of the background, and putting it on this Stitch Me fabric. I just have a modest start on it of I don't know because I've omitted the background already, but that's where I'm starting from. Bottom left-hand corner. It's kind of hard to see. There are stitches up in here. And it is hard to see because even though I've omitted the background, it was hard to like figure out exactly where the two light stitches ended, and hopefully it'll look okay. I figured it'd be a nice like sky background for where the light was. All right, next is another, that's supposed to get 200 as well. And this is another whip called something. I don't know exactly what it's called, but the title here is BB from 1699. It's a reproduction sampler from The Sampler. And I am in the upper left-hand corner. I don't know exactly how many stitches I have. I don't have the energy to go find my records for that because they're kind of all over the place. I'm really thankful for this program that I got for Rainbow Stitches Gallery? No, Rainbow something. I'll put it here. Jen has the same one. She did a kind of a walkthrough of it on her channels, as did Ebony and Stitches, which is where we both saw, or she saw and pointed me to the direction of. So I'm going to go back to struggling with the back stitch on this A. It was supposed to have been a not back stitch, but a different kind of stitch, and my brain can't wrap itself around it very well, so we will see how that goes when I actually get to it. That's supposed to get 380 stitches, so hopefully we'll be able to see quite a bit of progress on that. And I am excited that this got called again for one of my projects. The Underwater Kingdom by Riolis. So I'll go ahead and, well, you just saw, right? Yeah, you just kind of, well, that was a while ago. Here, we'll show you. I'll show you anyway. That's where we're starting from. Very grateful to have gotten that one, at least in Pattern Keeper. Did not have so much luck with some of the other ones. And last but not least, just kidding, not last but not least, and I forgot to grab it out of there, so I'm gonna have to pause again. That's okay. Next is Shaman. This is artwork by Lori Prindle, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This is the supersized max color version. Here we go. That's what we're going to look like when it's done. I'm in the upper left-hand corner. Kelly from Kel Stitches is doing the mini version of this, and it looks fantastic, to be honest. I mean, obviously there's not as much definition, but the details are not bad. So if you want to check this project out and more completed, go check out her Whip Parade. I am starting this at, where are we at? 4,208 stitches on this so far. And I had started working on this page. I'm going to be, I don't know exactly how I'm going to go about it, but I won't be doing this harsh line anymore. But the rest of this page right here is just this one color. So I will probably be working on filling in that color. And this is to get all of 100 stitches. I feel like that's what it was the last time I pulled this out too. So sad. That will go really fast, so I may or may not, depending on time, go ahead and try and get some more of that in. All right. And then for the main focus, I actually threw a few projects in that I really want to see some good progress on this year into a wheel. And I will just spin it whenever there's a main focus that's called for the week. And this week was One to Rule Them All by Tilton Crafts. This is a piece by Eric Stein. Here we go. And that's supposed to get 300 stitches in. It'll just be up in this upper left-hand corner as usual. Let me grab it real quick and show you where we're going to start from. Yeah, it's just black so far. I keep forgetting how sad of a start I have on this so far. So I will just finish off this thread and keep going with the 310. So there's that. I really don't know what that's going to look like as far as if I get any temperature stitching in, if it's going to go over 2 weeks. I don't know. I really don't. Pray for me, all. I don't want to have the flu. I haven't even had a month off of being ill yet. Freaking winter. Okay. I think that's all for like what's up as far as stitching goes. I do have some haul to show you because Misty from Mystic Fabrics had her grand opening of her brick and mortar store, and thanks to Angie over at Second Wind Stitcher, I realized, ouch. I realized how close Misty's store is to me. Now, Angie and I are going to try and meet up when she's able to come down. But when I realized the grand opening hadn't even happened, and one of my other stitchy friends, Anne, messaged me and said, hey, do you want to go to the grand opening with me? And I'm like, yes, please. So we met up. So it was me, her, and a friend of hers, Holly, that came with her as well, met up for lunch at this cute little like local joint that was not expensive. had lunch, and then went over to the shop for the grand opening. Now, it is about a little less than 2-hour drive for me, so it's a bit of a haul. So of course I've got to, you know, make it worthwhile and actually buy stuff when I go there. Apparently, though, I was in a mood to get Bella Filipinas because when it comes to hand-dyed fabrics, I prefer to have a plan for the project that that piece of fabric is going to go to, just because hand dyes are quite a bit of a investment, and I don't want them just sitting, not being put to anything. It's very sad. So I went kind of crazy, to be honest. I did put some things back as far as like, okay, no, that's a little too crazy. So I did pick up some blending filament from Kreinik and the alternate for Petite Treasure braid, because I have not been able to find it anywhere. 123 Stitch has been out of it forever. So yeah, I grabbed a few of those because I know several of my projects require that I don't have spools put with it. I found there was, man, I'm probably going to end up getting it. There was a Glendon Place project that had like a Bird of Paradise mandala that I put back that was gorgeous. But, okay, so I have Mayari, Deity of the Moon, already. She has companion pieces. I'm pretty sure Misty had, like, Misty? Oh, my brain just stopped. Hold on. That's embarrassing. Misty Johnson. Did I say Missy earlier? What? Duh, Mystic Fabrics. Yeah, apparently I had I don't know, an aneurysm there for a minute. Misty. Has like all the Bella Filipinas that I could ever hope to see in person. So I went ahead and got Hanan, the Deity of the Morning, and Tala, Deity of the Stars. I also saw the fabric that I really want to put all three of them on, which is Starfall from her. Gorgeous, but I kind of want to put them on, like all three of them on one piece of fabric. So that's going to be a little bit of an investment and a while before I can pull off, plus all the accoutrements to go with those two. And then I also saw here, I just kind of flashed those. Shame on me. There we go. So that's Hanan, and that's Tala. Gorgeous. Okay, and then this one is called Cordelia, and I just love, like, Dren's designing is amazing. And look at all those treasures. Oh my gosh, that's going to be amazing. And crystals. Oh. So she was just sort of, she was the extra that I picked up, because I also bought a matched pair, Sol Tropica, and let me take her out real quick, Luna Mystica. Now, my friend Nana from Crafty Shield Maiden, she had started this one, and I just absolutely loved it when she showed it on her channel, when I first saw it on her channel like forever ago. And yeah, I mean, you can't have one without the other, right? And I went ahead and kitted up Luna Mystica. So I picked this blue fabric for hopefully kind of like a dark, like an evening sky kind of thing. I thought she would look really good on it. I just felt like the background color didn't quite do what I wanted for her on that. So, but that is Dark Reflection. And that's going to be 2/2 on 28 count fabric. So, and I bought the embellishment pack from Misty, because it's so much easier that way. It really is. I was feeling a little lazy. And then that was it for, that was it. That's what I got there. What else? Anything else? Not really. Just gonna try and keep on keeping on. But I have no more notes as far as that goes. So I think I will leave it here. There's really nothing else as far as crazy life stuff happening, which is good. I'll just keep the sicknesses at a minimum. One of my other kids is homesick today too, but we're pretty sure that was just bad Chinese. Yeah, so again, hopefully I will see you next week. Keep an eye on the community tab if you're curious. as far as like needing to go over the 2 weeks or not if I'm sick. Really hope not. But it'll be what it'll be. So hopefully see you next week. If not, I will see you when I can record again next. I'm not going to say if I end up not being able to record next week, I don't know if I'll just push it out a whole nother week or if I will just try to record as soon as possible and then go from there. I don't know. I don't know yet. So if you have gotten this far and you enjoyed what you had to see and don't mind the confusion and the chaos, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, all the things. I've been absolutely loving interacting with you guys. By the way, thank you so much for sharing your experiences from last week with me in the comments. The number of people who self-inflict wounds on themselves. How have we survived as a species? Seriously. But yeah, it definitely made me feel a little bit better about being kind of done with it. So, yeah, I think that is it. I will hopefully see you again soon and have a great stitching week in the meantime. I hope everyone else is doing well and that you are staying well. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye.